So, morphology and syntax for developing reading comprehension. Understanding the meaning of prefixes, suffixes, and roots enhances the comprehension of text being read. The manipulation of affixes can impact the part of speech that a word denotes. Obviously, with the help of these affixes, we know that a certain word is a noun, a verb, an adjective, etc. Having this knowledge enhances text comprehension. So the more vocabulary, the more morphology we know, the better comprehension of the text is. Direct instruction of morphology is an effective means to help with understanding and applying word structure for decoding, spelling, and vocabulary study. So in this regard, the teaching of vocabulary and understanding, teaching of morphology and understanding of morphological process is very important for the students. As a result, student may be able to recognize an unfamiliar word simply by identifying its suffix and the remaining base word or root, right? So once we have understood how root work and how suffixes work, what are their general meaning, because roots may change meaning, but root may in different words there may be more roots, but so far as affixes are concerned, especially suffixes, they are few. Their meanings are stable, and we have studied this aspect. So with the help of stable meaning, we can make guesses, very intelligent guesses of those stems which we are not familiar already. So this is what that remaining base word or root can be understood with the help of affixes. Textbooks and student writing in the earlier grade typically use words of Anglo-Saxon origin. The words of Anglo-Saxon origin are very small, one syllable or two syllable. So having knowledge of affixes can help us a lot, or having knowledge of the stems belonging to this English is very easier for teaching student more vocabulary. Typically, these words are 1-2 syllables, high frequency, not very high frequency words. In the upper grades, more frequently use words of Latin and Greek. And beside that, the words from Latin and Greeks are studied in disciplines or in subject like chemistry, mathematics, a difficult subject, right? Not in readers that are recommended to the student in the early part of their education. So when they come into the secondary classes, the words from Latin and Greek region can be helpful. We can teach them the stems of these from these languages, and they can understand or have more vocabulary with the passage of time. Classroom instruction in morphology, when we are dealing with Prince suggested 4 main instructional strategy for Lecoq's work with morphology. Morphology should be taught as a distinct component of a vocabulary improvement program throughout the upper elementary years. Here the students should be taught suffixes, prefixes, and roots. Morphology should be taught as a cognitive strategy to be learned, right? In order to break a word down into morphemes, student must complete the following 4 steps. Recognize that they do not know the word. Analyze the word for recognizable morpheme both in roots and suffixes. For example, if we have import, right? So the same word can be found. We have port as a stem, so we can tell them transportation. So this word has the same stem. So this is how we can teach them. Think of a possible meaning based upon the parts of the word. Check the meaning of the word against the context of the reading. That is very important. Students also need to understand the use of prefix, suffixes, and roots, and how words get transformed, how words are formed, where different affixes are fixed in a word. Students who understand how words are formed by combining prefixes, suffixes, and roots tend to have larger vocabularies and better reading comprehension than peers without such knowledge and skills. So that's why this type of exercise is a part of entrance examination. So whenever you go for an entrance examination, you find a certain portion of the test on vocabulary. So this aspect of vocabulary can be very helpful in this regard. A deep and full knowledge and understanding of vocabulary will improve outcomes for students who struggle. So knowledge of morphology, which basically help us to increase our vocabulary as students, and which help us to give more words to our students as teacher, is very crucial, very important.